and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. On March 2nd, 2007, an accident in my congressional district made headlines across the country. A charter bus carrying the Buffington University baseball team careened off a closed exit and crashed onto Highway I-75 in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. It was devastating. 7 of the 35 passengers lost their lives on that terrible day. A university, a community, parents, teachers, teammates, and friends mourned. News outlets across the country asked, why did this happen? How can we prevent this from occurring again? A few days later, my office received a phone call from Dr. Jerry Solomon, saying one of the leading surgeons who treated the players, he knew that the graded doctors, this is Greater Hospital, one of the best trauma centers in America. These graded doctors could have saved more life if only the team had not been thrown out of their seats and ejected from the bus. Dr. Solomon explained his painful work trying to save lives and do the patchwork. He felt strongly that much of it could have been prevented if only they had been wearing seatbelts. He stated that countless lives could have been saved had Congress acted years ago. He was furious at our inaction. He knew what his job was and demanded that we do ours. As a nation, we learn time and time again that motor coach accidents are rare, but when they occur, the consequences are severe. The National Transportation Safety Board recommended time and time again that Congress enact stronger, comprehensive motor coach bus safety standards. Since that terrible dark day in downtown Atlanta, there have been 120 accidents across the country. 120. Some are small and are quick birds on the local news, but others like the tragedy in Sherman, Texas, the Bronx in New York, East Brunswick, New Jersey, High Point, North Carolina, or most recent in Clinton, Montana, send a deadly reminder that Congress needs to act, and we need to act now. For me, buses are very important. They're personal. Madam Chair, I traveled for 6 years from rural Alabama through Montgomery, through Birmingham to Nashville, Tennessee, from 1957 to 63 on my way to school. I grew up taking motor coach buses, again in Alabama, in Georgia, in Tennessee, in Virginia, in the Carolinas. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. sent me a bus ticket to meet him for the first time in 1958 when I was 18. And I later joined thousands of freedom riders to desegregate interstate commerce. I know all too well that buses are the lifeline of our nation. It is a major means of transportation for all Americans, sporting teams, students, tourists, in every corner of our country. It is so wrong to push for them. Is it so wrong to push for them to be safe? It is the right thing to do. It is the necessary thing to do. For 5 years, we have had a bipartisan effort on this issue. Senators on both sides of the aisle have tried repeatedly to push this bill forward. Every time an accident occurs in their home states, their citizens like mine demand action, and we must act. I commend the Senate and for the inclusion of the Motorcoach Enhanced Safety Act in the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Bill. Recently, my good friend and colleague, Congressman Ted Pope from Texas, joined me in offering an amendment to H.R. 7 to ensure that the House bill include equal high motor coach standards. This is one of those issues where we just need to put partisan politics aside and get it done. The American people are demanding that we act. The motor coach industry had decades to make their fleet safe and safer, and time is up. Congress needs to act and act now, not tomorrow or next year, but now. I urge each of you to sit back and ask yourself why you can get on a bus and have access to wireless service and outlets but not a seatbelt. It doesn't make sense. Your window is not crash-proof. The roof is not crush-resistant. Trust me, you do not want to be on the receiving end of a phone call from a doctor, a parent, a survivor, a child that lost that patient, a loved one, in a preventable motor coach accident. I hope and pray that any bill that this committee puts on the floor will send an unmistakable message that the United States House of Representatives, the body of the people, speaks in a clear voice for safety. Again, I thank you for the opportunity to testify this morning. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. We appreciate your testimony. I have no questions that I am going to ask, but at this time,